Rural Heritage on RFD TV is brought to you by Rural Heritage Magazine, a bi-monthly magazine featuring articles about farming and logging with draft animal power, small-scale diversified family farming and homesteading, and other aspects of our rich rural heritage. Rural Heritage Magazine, borrowing from yesterday to do the work of today. For subscription information, please call 319-362-3027 or order online at www.ruralheritage.com. Dick Courteau of western Arkansas has packed several lifetimes of experiences in his 80-plus years. He grew up in the foster care system working at a Minnesota dairy farm. His love of horses took him west to where he learned to ride proficiently working at a dude ranch in Montana. Later he worked the rodeo circuit, bronco busting and bull riding until multiple grave injuries forced his retirement. He then homesteaded in Arkansas and established a successful horsemanship school where he taught children and adults the finer points of riding and working with horses. He and his family went on a multi-state horse-drawn wagon trip from Arkansas to the Dakotas, and meanwhile he studied Spanish and eventually became a professor in Spanish at the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville. His latest adventure has been to write and publish a book on working with donkeys called Get Your Ass to Work, which is as good a book on the subject that's ever been written. It's replete with gorgeous and useful photographs and illustrations to provide a comprehensive look at choosing, training, working, and caring for donkeys. We spent the better part of a day sitting down with Dick and heard his tale. A prolific and compulsive reader and writer, Dick is unable to resist the urge to quote one of his favorite writers or read from one of his many essays about life in the country.
Where is the good life? Everyone wants one, but where is it? Broadly speaking, you can lead a rural life or an urban life, country or city, but where is the good life? Poets and philosophers, as well as we, the common people, have been arguing this question for thousands of years. Some 40 years ago, at the height of the Back to the Land movement, I met a certain young man, Mike Cosgrove, who had been raised in the huge metropolis of Houston, Texas, but had moved to a small farm in rural Arkansas. Mike, 30-ish, was a homespun philosopher and a very amusing wit. Sitting on my porch one day, I posed the question to him. Mike, I said, ever since the days of the Roman poets and down through the ages to our own Wendell Berry, writers and thinkers and common people have been pondering, where is the good life, in the city or the country? Oh, Mike replied, there's no question about it. The good life is in the city. It's just that some of us like a bad life. So just chalk me up as a lover of the bad life. That's right. For many of us, the bad life of the country is really the good life, the richest in experience and the most satisfying.
You wrote a donkey book.
Right.
How come?
Well, I had written a much, much larger book on, much more complete, on horses, on the training of horses to the harness. And the big reason for, the big justification, if not reason, for the donkey book was for I still felt then, and I feel now, for the beginner. And I have run across so much interest in work animals among people. Very, very little of it ever comes to fruition, but some of it does. So I decided to publish this book on donkeys. The safest animals for the beginner, and is, I think, and some of them might actually put this into use. And now I I have learned just recently that Jacqueline has received, she got an email, I guess it was, from one person anyway, that has improvised a harness and put my methods to use and was doing some moving manure out to the pasture. And then this call from over east here, and this Kenny Underwood that is in that group of kind of amateur teamsters over there that I was telling you about. And he said he had a fellow helping him, and who ultimately bought the book, but that they had a mule they were having trouble with. They just couldn't get her to move over there. And he said, well, his helper, he wanted to do, what so many do, lose her temper and say, well, let's make this so-and-so get over there. I'll teach her a lesson. It's going to take a trace chain. And he said, no. I thought that Dick Courteau had a little different method. This is the method of prodding them,
Right.
in the ribs. So things like that are gratifying,
If you've wanted to get started working equine on your acreage, you couldn't make a better choice than to start with a donkey. Donkeys are intelligent, loyal, and willing workers. For the beginner, they can be the safest option. In his new book, Get Your Ass to Work, Dick Courteau explains how to work with donkeys from A to Z. This comprehensive manual provides information for the beginner and advanced donkey owner. Topics include breaking a donkey to lead, groundwork, fitting harness and collars, training the donkey to pull a load, working a team of 2 donkeys, constructing and loading a pack saddle, feed and care for your donkeys, and much, much more. The 212-page book is written in straightforward, easy-to-understand prose and illustrated with hundreds of photos and drawings. It costs just $29.95 and is available by calling 1-877-647-2452. That's 1-877-647-2452. This program is available for purchase. To order your copy, please call 319-362-3027 or visit www.ruralheritage.com. Rural Heritage is a bi-monthly magazine dedicated to draft animal farming and logging, as well as other aspects of our rich rural heritage. It is published by Mishka Press, which also offers a complete line of back-to-the-land books, DVDs, and calendars. Call or write for a catalog or subscription information, or visit our website at www.ruralheritage.com.